welcome. Today is Monday, January 6th, and it's 2025. So my question today to you is, have you set goals? Have you talked about New Year's resolutions? How far into them are you? Have you been working on them? What are your thoughts? Well, I want to talk today a little bit about a day that I learned about just recently called Quitter's Day. Not something that I ever thought you should celebrate, Quitter's Day, but here we are. Quitter's Day is actually the second Friday in January, and it is observed in several countries, not just the United States. And it marks a day where we begin to reevaluate and question our resolutions or our goals for the new year. Our enthusiasm starts to wane when we wonder, what are we doing? Okay, so here are some factors behind Quitter's Day. One of the things that we tend to do as human beings is we set unrealistic expectations. A lot of times they may be overly ambitious goals without a realistic plan. This leads to frustration and disillusionment. It's happened to me more than once. I make these grand plans and can't quite seem to get them done in the time frame that I've set forth, and it gets discouraging and you give up. The next thing is external pressures. Societal expectations can create undue pressure, making individuals abandon their resolutions. So you make a resolution, let's say you're going to run every day at 2 o'clock for 40 minutes. But your friends are like, hey, let's go, come on, society expects you to do something else, and you abandon your goals. Another thing that keeps us from achieving our goals is our lack of adaptability. Life is a very dynamic and changing thing. And I know you've heard this before. Life is very fluid. It's like touching a river. And again, I know you've heard this analogy before, but if you put your hand in the river, you're never touching the same water twice. It's the same way with time in our lives. We're never touching that same time twice. So it's always dynamic and ever changing. And this brings forth unforeseen circumstances that will disrupt our pursuit of our goals. Those who struggle to adapt may find it easier to quit than to adjust their plans. And I've been there as well. I read a book once, it's called Fit to Live, and it talks about how she lost weight, and she used a theory of adaptation where she adapted. She traveled a lot, so she couldn't always eat as healthy as she wanted, but she had to adapt. So she would buy a salad at the airport or, something different. So it's adapting. And in the end, she lost weight. So we can turn Quitter's Day into a positive experience. We need to not view it as a setback, but as an opportunity to reflect and recalibrate and understand the reasons that we are inclined to quit. It allows us to reassess our goals and set more realistic goals and expectations and adopt strategies for success. This is extremely important, adopting strategies for success. So stay with me and we'll talk about some of the strategies for success. One of them is, let's set realistic goals. Okay? These goals need to be realistic. They need to be achievable. They have to have a start date, an end date, and they have to be realistic. Okay? And once we have the big goal, then we break it down into smaller goals. These more achievable goals are easier to maintain and give you a sense of progress. And everybody needs that. When I was losing weight, my challenge was 5 pounds. So every 5 pounds, I would celebrate that 5 pounds, not with eating, of course, but with other things. But you need to set achievable goals and you need to celebrate them and be realistic. Number 2, focus on intrinsic motivation. Align your goals with your personal values and passion. This will allow you to sustain motivation from within yourself. 3, embrace flexibility. Life is unpredictable. Be open to adjusting goals when necessary. When you do this, it fosters resilience, and everybody needs resilience. and it fosters long-term commitment as well. Again, I can't tell you how important it is to celebrate your milestones and use positive reinforcement to reach your goals. Again, we can turn Quitter's Day into a positive day. It doesn't have to be negative.